I don't know, guys. This isn't what computers are supposed to look like, right? Like, that's supposed to be text that you're supposed to be able to read, right? I don't know. Everything seems a little, derpy at the moment, but that's for pretty good reason. I decided to flash the graphics card once again. That's half the vlog is flashing freaking graphics cards from a 8800 to an 8800 GT to a 9800 GT. And right now, it looks like it's not really happy about that. But the funniest thing is, right now it looks like horrible. But if I were to go over here and remote into the computer, oh crap, I gotta switch this thing from, oh geez, from input that to input this. Give it a second. Now it's perfectly fine. So there's like a gigantic issue with the current ROM, or the current BIOS that I flashed, but that's okay because I have a couple of other things that I want to try. Mainly, the first thing I need to do is, well, this guy right here. This is like the second flash drive that I ever owned, and it's still kicking around. I actually lost it for the longest times, but it showed up at my dad's house, and I was like, oh, this is mine. But this is an ancient 1 gigabyte flash drive from China, actually, when I went as a child. And it's currently running, well, it has a very light version of Windows 98 on here. And actually, I don't even think it has it's Windows 98. It just shows a Windows 98 splash screen and then immediately goes over to DOS. So I use this to flash BIOSes. And I've been trying to get the 8800 to a Quadro, because the entire reason why I wanted that graphics card was so I could have it be used to accelerate video encoding. And as far as I can tell, the current versions of Adobe Creative Cloud and all of that don't support that graphics card. And previous versions didn't officially support it. However, in previous versions, you could like add video cards to a file that are just like list of supported cards, and then it would try to use it, and usually it worked. They just weren't officially approved. But that was like in CS4, CS5, and CS6. Actually, that might not have been as far back as CS4, but that was definitely in CS6 and CS5. But since then, that file no longer exists, so I can't just add the graphics card to that and hope it works. So my initial thought was, okay, let me try flashing it to a Quadro, because at least if it's a Quadro, there's probably a decent chance that it has official support. And if that was the case, that'd be fantastic. I'd be able to use it for all the things, but alas, every single time I flash this, the 3700 FX, or the FX 3700 ROM, my computer doesn't boot. Like, it'll go into the splash screen for Windows, and then as soon as the desktop loads, it's just like, nah. So that doesn't work. I just flashed it to the 9800, and right now it's installing the drivers for it. And I don't know, as you saw by what the screen looked like earlier, it's not having a good time. And I think actually it's because probably the ROM that I flashed is running the card at higher specs than what it's normally rated for. So as a result, it's just like, I can't do that, but I'm not gonna crash. Which is the funniest thing when that happens, when like a computer, or when a program tries so hard and doesn't actually crash like it's supposed to. And oh, installation complete. What? It's not supposed to install graphics drivers while I am... Oh, wait, what? What did I just install? It's not supposed to install drivers while I'm in TeamViewer. Usually it just crashes TeamViewer, and then the rest of the computer is just like, what's going on? And then the computer doesn't do anything until it's restarted. But look, here are the specs of this silly computer. Not exactly that good. But I did get it for about $20. But right now, graphics card is being detected as a 9800 GT, which is good because normally it's supposed to be an 8800 GT. However, Windows has stopped this device because of reported problems. Great! I'm going to try to restart the computer and see if anything else happens. And if not, that's okay, because you'll be able to see a very interesting light show as it attempts to start up. So let me switch this over to HDMI and give it a second. Power on, and as you can see, it's already looking really bad. It's set to a non-preset mode. I don't know what that means. Monitor's complaining about something. But, come on, restart it a little bit faster. Just a teeny tiny bit faster. But yeah. Oh, there. I hit my funny bone as I moved my arm. Let's see how crazy it looks. The first time I restarted it was just symbols everywhere, and it was really messy. Come on. Come on. There we go. Yeah, it's super messed up right now. I'm gonna let it boot once into Windows, and if that works, great. Otherwise, I'm gonna flash it back to the 8800 so it's functional, and then, I don't know, try something else. But other than this craziness, in other news, this monitor is working fine. All 5 displays are working fine. I don't know what the problem is. Because originally I thought it was a faulty graphics card. Turns out that wasn't the case. Both of them are perfectly fine. Both of the 610s that I got were perfectly fine. Then I thought it was a dead PCI Express slot, but I was able to put the 4670 from my old desktop, or from the crappy desktop into the good desktop, and it's been working perfectly fine ever since then. And oh, this is still broken as can be, so I'm going to assume that that's not going to work. I'm going to plug this guy in right here, and go all the way over here, press this button right there, and now I just wait and spam the escape key. But oh crap, oh yeah, I thought it was a dead PCI Express slot, but nope, it's not a dead PCI Express slot because, well, I mean, another graphics card is in it and it's working perfectly fine. So then I thought, okay, maybe it's a driver issue, so I looked it up, and maybe it is a driver issue, but no one else seems to be having this driver issue, and oh crap. This is going to be really hard to navigate. I'm going to have to do it all from memory, so I think it's this, and then I think it's this. Did I do it? I have no clue. Okay, we're going to try it. NV flash -4-5-6 G92.ROM. Something maybe happened. YES. Why? Oh! I don't know if anything happened. Let's try that one more time. NV flash 4-5. Oh crap, I messed that up. This is really hard to do because I can't see what I'm typing or what's being displayed to the screen. But NV flash -4-5-6 G92.ROM. And then I know for sure the first thing is capital yes. And then I know the second one is yes. And then I think the third one is capital yes. I don't know if anything's happening. Oh, okay, it made the second beep, which is usually a good sign. Worst case scenario, I just have to throw in another graphics card into the computer and then flash a specific graphics card instead of the first graphics card. But I think, maybe just maybe, I did it. We'll see in just a second. And oh dang it, I think I showed my team viewer information again, which means I have to reset it once again. Jeez. I should really just get rid of the random thing. And oh yes, it works. I'm able to boot once again. This is perfectly fine. This is great. Let me minimize out of that. But yes, as you can tell, I've been doing this a little bit too much, considering that I was able to do all of that from memory. No lifing hard right now. But yeah, now it should boot. I'm gonna try, if anything, I'm going to try to download a different ROM because like I said, I have a feeling the problem was that I was using something where the timings or the clock speeds were set too high for what this card is capable of doing. But it should be flashable, at least to a 9800 GT. I'll be sad if it's not. Why am I so obsessed with making this ancient card run kind of better than it can? I don't know. There's just something deeply satisfying to me, though, about making old parts do good things. I guess, like, the prime example of this would be, like, Yeah, actually, it would be this desktop because it's so bad, but I can still make it do stuff, and making it do stuff is the best. And yeah, now everything's no longer garbled, so it's at least functional. And then if we do that, we can not log in because I'm not clicked in. But I even think I might have driver support right now. Why can't I click on this? I am very confused. Oh, there we go. Nope, something's messed up. What? Okay. Let's try this again. Oh no, it's so difficult typing with one hand. And there we go, log in. I swear, if you're gonna tell me that's the wrong password, I'm just gonna end things. But yeah, I'm gonna tinker around a little bit, see if I can do anything. Gotta do some work too. It's a Monday, of course, so that means my day ended at 8. It's been a long day. And it's currently 9:30, but it's been a productive day. I've gotten a couple of things done. I've been mainly focused on getting a couple of projects started that aren't due for a couple of weeks because I want to do really well on them. Actually, I realized, like, if I can do exceedingly well on 2 of them, I will get an A in the class instead of a B, which would be fantastic. But yeah, I have this to work with. I have to work on this first. That comes second. Of course, school comes second. No, I'm just kidding. School is unfortunately a very high thing on my priority list. But for now, I'm gonna get this computer to work. I'm gonna get it to work well. That's my big goal. I think it worked. It booted and it said NVIDIA 9800 GT, and it's not a garbled mess right now. So I think the last one that I had was just running the card really far out of spec, and that actually makes me wonder what the heck was it running at while it was super derped up. But I actually downloaded this specific file right here, I believe. Yeah, this one, because it is running at the exact same settings that the card is running. Wait, no, it's not that one. I got one that was it that one? No, it was that one, because those are the frequencies that everything was running on that card, or on the normal card that I was able to verify with GPU-Z. Now that that works, it's booting, which means that I should be able to install drivers, and after I install drivers, then I should be able to do the thing. Now, if I could just log in, that would be fantastic. I am excited that it is working, though, because it's just fun to do stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's working. Hopefully it's working, but to talk about a previous issue that happened on the vlog, let's see. The phone is functional again to some extent. I think the SD card is still super messed up. Like if I go over to here and then go down over to the, where is it? Storage and USB. It's not actually showing the micro SD card, it's only showing the internal storage. So I think that the SD card reader is fried on this thing because it just doesn't, it keeps unmounting the SD card. But yeah, right now I need GPU-Z to load up to verify that the flash went well, and then I just need to install some drivers, and hopefully that will make everything work well. Fortunately, this computer's so freaking slow when it starts up. Jeez, like, old hard drives. Is this really what it used to be like? Oh, I was hoping with the screen flashing black that something would have happened, but, oh, what? There's nothing here. It is really confused. GPU-Z is just like 8800 GT, but 9800 GT? What is happening? Let's try that one more time. I think it might actually be installing the drivers, or at least trying to, so it wouldn't surprise me if that's why things are a little messed up. If anything, I can go to GeForce Experience and then press Windows E to load up my computer and go to the device manager, but I think it's working. Just have to install drivers, and after I do that, we're on, I don't remember what the saying is. We'll be golden. There. Not that wasn't what I was going for, but that works. So, if I can get this working, I will be back when oh, wait. It started up. Or GPU-Z is started up, however, yeah, there are no drivers installed, so nothing is here. Yeah, I have to install the drivers before it does anything, so I'll be back as soon as I do that. It worked. It worked flawlessly. The drivers are installed. I could probably load up Minecraft and play it, and it would probably be playable. Even though I knew it was playable beforehand, and flashing it up from the 8800 to the 9800 really won't make much of a performance difference. Actually, it shouldn't make any because they are more or less the exact same thing. I mean, there were some minor revisions that were made, but yeah, it's more or less the same thing. However, I loaded up Media Encoder to test out a thing, and still stuck on the software engine, and there is no way to change it. So I looked up a couple of things, and it turns out that one of the requirements for the Mercury playback engine is to have 1 GB of video memory. I have 512 megs. I don't have enough. And because I don't have enough, I don't think it's a matter of flashing the graphics card to something else. It's just the Mercury playback engine won't work, which is unfortunate because I really wanted it to work. But as you can see, Minecraft works. What am I getting? Like, how many frames? Oh my god, I'm getting 400 FPS right now. What is this? I'm currently running the game at, oh, there we go. It's because everything else didn't load. Now I'm getting like 96. But what was I going to say? The game is not running at 1080p or at 1440p. It is running at 1080p instead because I currently have it plugged in through the capture card going in through HDMI, which I think limits it to 1080p and not 1440p. But one thing I wanted to try to do is force the game to run at, or not the game, force the monitor to run at 1440p at 30 FPS, which is still the same amount of data going through the card, just 30 FPS instead of 60 FPS. And I think that'll look better, even though 30 Hertz is kind of crappy, but I can live with that. But I'm happy that this is working. It's even detecting it through here as a 9800. I remember I flashed my my 680 to a 770 back in the day, and it all worked perfectly fine, but it was never like, the system never detected it as a 770. It always detected it as a 680, but it just unlocked all the features that the 770 had, which, so dumb. Like, I don't really like rebranding of graphics cards, but it's especially dumb when you add new features to a graphics card and it's literally all done in software, none of it's done in hardware. So, and then you disable it on the old versions, like, that's not cool. But at least this works, and this works very well. Like I said, 100 plus FPS on this ancient card. Actually, I'm really curious to see when did the BIOS, when did it say it came out? 2008. That was 8 years ago that this graphics card came out, and I'm still getting over 100 FPS in Minecraft. Heck, if I had to, I could probably, like, do the majority of the YouTube work that I do on this crappy computer, even though it only has 6 gigs of RAM and, like, this crappy graphics card, just because I don't really do too much other than play Minecraft. Maybe I should play other games. I think I have a couple of other games installed on here. I should just try them out to see if anything interesting happens. But I guess the next step is overclocking this, because overclocking is fun. So I cut up some onions and garlic and minced them together. They're quite small, and ew, there's a hair. Let me yank that out of there. I love onions, and when they're all minced like this, super good. I'm also making some sausage right now, and I should probably slowly turn this down. This is just about done, or about ready. Now I just need to go over here and grab the pasta. And then it will be time to make something delicious. It's such a neat little rectangle that is onion and garlic and deliciousness. But the sausage is almost cooked. Right now I have to cut it into small pieces because it won't really cook super well when it's the gigantic pieces if you're frying them. So I just slice it up and then fry the individual pieces, and then you get a bunch of little pasta, or a bunch of little sausage bits. And then when I'm all done, I will add it into the pasta and have one heck of a delicious dinner. Yay! It's cooking up nicely. Right over here are all the spices that go into this whenever I make it. So good old garlic salt, some pepper, a little bit of celery seeds, some basil leaves, and a pinch of sugar. And I threw all of those onto the sausage so they will soak in and become delicious. But yeah, as you can see, it's super raw. As soon as I turn it over, it goes from raw to very well cooked. The only problem is I would just cut it up and make it as is while it's still frozen, but it's really hard to cut through frozen meat. So I'll kind of thaw it out by cooking it first. It'll sear the outsides a bit, and then I will just do it this way, and then it will be super delicious. Oh, I'm excited. As this all cooks together, it like turns into an emulsion of deliciousness. But for now, it's just a bunch of bits of onion and some sausage. I'm excited, because I haven't eaten in a while, actually. Oh, geez, when did I last eat? It's actually been many hours. I think I ate at 2. So yeah, it's been a while. Let's see how this comes out. The deed is done, and the pasta is done. And wow, that looks pretty good on camera, actually. Oh, so shiny. I had to take the first bite, as is tradition now. Let's see how the sausage came out. That's like what I'm most excited about. Yep. That came out good. Time to enjoy dinner. Much later, I've been working on the permissions for the vanilla server because I've been making some changes. Getting ready for Potato Craft version 1.1. Basically what's being added at this point is a actual factions world. The survival world is being turned into a not factions world, but it'll still have stuff like Townie instead of factions. Adding the Skyblock world, and a couple of other secret things. Right now, well, I mean, some things are secret, other things aren't secret. There's something that's, look, not a secret. That's totally not a secret anymore. But yeah, I want to add some new features because I want to start doing the series on the public server. But right now, it's not really feature-rich enough for me to, like, do something new. So, yeah, I'm going to add a couple of things so there's plenty of variety for all the things to do on the server. Which brings me to, like, a really interesting place that the server's in right now, in my opinion. There are a lot of servers that have one goal, or a lot of servers that have a bunch of small goals. Like, there are a lot of survival servers, there are a lot of minigame servers. Occasionally you have, like, a little bit of bleeding between the two of them. But what I have, or what I'm, like, trying to make right now is a server with a lot of big goals. Like, a lot of different things that you can spend a lot of time doing each individual thing. Like, there's the main survival world. If there's a factions world, that'll be something else that's really big. The Skyblock world, once that gets set up, that'll also be really big. And then, like, all the super secret stuff that's planned, that I have planned, at least in my head, would all be pretty cool. But, yeah. I really want to make a series on the server, and I'm starting to get it to the point where I can, and it's good because there's a lot of work. I also set up automatic promotions finally because I've been meaning to do that for a while, and finally I just got around to it. It wasn't bad, and now people can be promoted up a couple of ranks depending on how much time they spend on the server. But other than that, there's the server running. I should show you guys the thing. Where's the thing? There is a thing, and I don't know where it is. It is this. Hit the OK button, and wait for a thing to happen. There we go. It is a remoted-in view of the secondary desktop. It's working perfectly fine. I have the thing running at 1080p because it's going through a capture card, so it can't do 2560 by 1440. But yay, it is a 9800 GT. Drivers are all installed, everything's working. I think I can overclock a little bit, but I can't use the other thing. Can't use CUDA in Premiere like I wanted to, but I guess there are worse things that could happen. I mean, worse comes to worse, I still have the 610 lying around. If I end up using that, I won't be able to use the 8800 in the computer just because it wouldn't work. I guess I should do some tests, because if rendering with the 610 is marginally faster than rendering with just the processor, then I'll just say, okay, 610, you're now going into that computer. Which actually wouldn't be the worst of things, because the 8800 is really loud. Like, I can shut this off so you might be able to hear it, but that thing is really freaking loud. And it's like, it's kind of bad. And that loudness, I mean, this is not the quietest of computers because a lot of the fans inside of here aren't very good, but that 8800 is... of course, I was talking over it as it turned off. I'll turn it back on. Okay, here's it off. And... it's so loud. And that's just the graphics card, so I think maybe I'll replace it just for the sake of it'll be quieter. And I mean, that makes it kind of useless that now that I have the 8800 flash to a 9800, but honestly, I did that for fun. I wanted to see if it could work, and it did work. But since that computer really doesn't... It doesn't really matter what I use that computer for. Right now it's not being used by much. So I figure if it can be more beneficial having the 610 in there, then I might as well do that. And unfortunately, I can't have the 610. And actually, I might be able to have both the 610 and the 8800 in there because I'll be able to use an older version of the driver that the 970 doesn't support, but the 610 should support. So maybe it can be done. Maybe. But yeah, that's gonna be all for today. I need to edit this vlog along with the 2 Toricon vlogs. And yeah, so I do hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. And I will see you all again tomorrow. So until then, I don't know how to end these. Until then, here's a picture of my hat. Of me slowly zooming in to my hat. Sees into your soul.